All right. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. I hope everybody is doing well. Just trying to get myself organized here. Obviously, I am back down in West Virginia, and so happy to be back down here. Lots to do. There's always lots to do, but it happens. I knew that it was going to be raining when I got down here. I was looking at the forecast before I left, and I'm like, well, this will be interesting. So, and it has been. So, but that's okay. So I hope everybody's doing great. I hope you guys have had a good week so far. Just trying to get re-caught up with everything. Left last night at around a little after 8. I know where did the Cheez-Its I took. See, the Cheez-Its went with me back to New York, so they're still there. I didn't bring them back down with me, so I had to have my Cheez-Its for a snack on the drive. You got to snack when you're driving. When you got 8 hours in the car or truck, you need to have something to snack on. So, yes. So my advertising for Cheez-Its is no longer there, or actually it was over here. So, but anyway, of course I have Reese's in the fridge. JJ, come on now. The baseball game, Sharon, was awesome. It was a lot of fun. It was ridiculously hot, but it was enjoyable. It was a nice getaway. It was a nice, you know, even though they lost the one game, they lost on Saturday night, but they won on Sunday. So it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. It was just, getting out, getting to see them play. Judge homered on the Sunday, so getting to see that, like where he homered, we were off to the right, or no, the left a little bit, and but he hit it like way past where we were sitting. So, but no, it was a good time. It was a lot of fun. It was nice to get away. It was nice to reconnect with my buddy. Like I said, it had been 8 years. We talk all the time, but it had been like 8 years since we actually saw each other. He had come up to New York. We got a bunch of the old crew. There was like four of us that all lived in the same house. We shared a house, and we had gotten together 8 years ago to play euchre. And so some of you may know what euchre is. Some of you may not. It's a northern game, but yeah. So it was wee bit pixelated. Oh boy. Well, weather's not been wonderful down here. That happens. But anyway, oh, it was no, well, not 20, but it was expensive. It was like 8.50 for a hot dog. Yeah, it was crazy expensive, crazy expensive. And then I had like for a beer, it was like $10 for a beer. If you got a lemonade, it was like again like $8 for a lemonade. So yeah, it was crazy, but like I said, it was a nice getaway. We had a great time. So of course, I got to tell you. So Saturday night when we got to the game, it was 99 degrees when we got to Saturday night's game. Uh, on Sunday when the game started, it was 100 degrees. But now it's 100 degrees sitting directly in the sun. Saturday night, the sun was going down, obviously, and once the sun went down, it was better. But it was brutal. And the best part was the apartment where him and his roommate live in. Uh, the air conditioner wasn't working, so we have like this crazy hot stretch with no AC. So it made it quite the adventure. But that's what makes it memorable. Those are the things that you don't forget. But it was definitely interesting. It was definitely interesting. But like I said, we had fun, had a good time, and it was really enjoyable. So, but anyway, so then I had to drive back to New York, and I knew I had planned on coming back down here yesterday. So I had to, get videos made, get the truck loaded up. And so I got to tell you this. So I saw this comment, and it's not anybody being mean or negative or anything like that, but just what they said. And I had to laugh, okay? And I'll explain why I had to laugh. So if you saw the video with me having the truck loaded up, I brought down a lot of my canning jars, okay? And so somebody in the comments goes, "Well, why are you bringing all those canning jars down? You don't have a stove to cook on." Well, yeah, I do. The camper has everything. It has a stove. So, but here's the best part: I make a fire anywhere. I can make a fire anywhere, and I can cook on a fire. So yeah, I can do canning over an open fire. I've done it before. So I had to laugh at that. I'm not making fun of the person that said it, but they just weren't thinking it through. But but for me, it's like, like I said, I want all my supplies down here eventually. That's the game plan. Somebody had also asked, and we're going to get into talking about the other stuff here in a minute, guys. Um, oh, well, let me do this part first. Family friendly oriented channel. So I would ask everybody, please be decent in chat. No racism, no nastiness. If you cannot abide by those very simple, easy rules, you will be booted out of here by those awesome people lit up in blue with the wrenches. So right, yeah, you put stuff in the truck. Right, you try to get as much as you possibly can. I got my one shelving unit. I brought it down, and I'll show you that when I get that set up. If it rains tomorrow, uh, so let me just. So anyway, so just be decent. Let's have a good chat, and we'll go from there. All right. So if we got rain again tomorrow, which I believe is in the forecast, I will be back in the shipping container, and I've got everything unpacked, and yes, I unpacked everything in the rain. So had to be unpacked. I was not leaving everything sitting in the truck. It had stopped. Yeah, I found stuff like the ladder I forgot about. Exactly. Even the awning thing, the tent thing. I found that too. I mean, it's just you find when you start going through things, it's amazing what you find that you're like, holy crap, I forgot I had that. So yeah, yeah. Packing a truck is like playing Tetris. You're exactly right. So all the tools that I had them in the cab of the truck, not in the back. So that was one of the things. I knew I was going to run into rain. I just didn't know when. And the trip down, I was going to run into rain. So all those tools were where they were not going to get wet. I had all the buckets in the back and all those type of things and the canning jars and stuff like that. And I didn't really care if they got wet. Canning jars are all up in the loft, in the battery room, and so but yeah, I'm going to tell you what, JJ's got it right. People don't realize how much stuff they have until it's time to move. When I moved from Greece, New York, to the homestead where we have up in New York, I like got rid of. I mean, I downsized like you would not believe downsized because I knew I was going to start out on the property in New York with just a 20 or 30. It was a 37-foot camper and the shop. That's all we were going to have. We were not going to. It wasn't going to be anything more. That's what we were going to have. And I still took two loads in a U-Haul, to do that. So there's a couple things I want to talk about with everything overall, so people understand. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But it's just like people say, well, why don't you do this and why don't you do that? And why don't you just rent a U-Haul and load a U-Haul up and bring it down? Well, all that costs money. I'm driving back and forth every month. Um, every month, no matter what, anyway. So if I come up, I load up the truck, I bring a load of stuff down. One less load that I got to worry about later on. Now that the property's off the market, I'm not in any dire rush that, oh my God, I got to get everything down here as quickly as possible. So that urgency is not there. As I develop things down here, have more places to put stuff, will continue. Like I got the shipping container, I got Eric's Big Blue House. I have those things. I have the camper. So I have places that yes, I can put stuff for right now. And in the shipping container, I can load up the shipping container. So, but it it costs money to rent a U-Haul and to do that, or to have a shipping company come in. I don't have that kind of money. I mean, I know some of you think that I'm rolling in dough, but I'm not. It's not the way it is. So, but you know, Yeah, the moving thing gets old real quick. Yeah, absolutely it does. But the way I look at it, one load at a time, not that big of a deal. Actually, in the house looks a lot more open with just the stuff that I've taken out of the house, and it just I'm not pushing a time clock. I'm not on a time thing anymore, time constraint. So I just, I'll do what I can do, and we'll get down here what I can get down here. And again, the goal is to get everything down here. The goal is eventually to either, most likely sell the property in New York. We'll see what I don't know what's going to happen. If my sister wants to continue to live there, I may not sell it. Okay, so we're just going to have to see what happens, and we're going to go from there. So anyway, so I want to get into a little. I want to talk about a little bit more of down here, but I also want to. My mind's in a better place. First of all, just so you know, I was in a bit of a. Yeah, I saw that the mega is now over 1 billion. I had my ticket for 830 million, which I would have adjusted my lifestyle had I won that one. I can really continue to adjust my lifestyle if I win 1 billion. But you got to realize you're only getting 40%. So if $1 billion, you're going to end up with 400 million. Now, I know that's hard to deal with and hard to think about, but I do believe that I could adjust my lifestyle to living on that much money. I could figure it out. I'll tell you what, my kids would never have to work. Their kids would never have to work. I would have trusts set up. I would have trust set up to take care of those different things, and stuff like that. But anyway, so we're going to talk really quickly. So I'm actually going to talk about the topic. What do we got? 341 in the chat. We got 118 thumbs up. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel, and I appreciate that. Also, it really does make a big difference with the algorithms, and I thank you for that reason as well. Also, um, you know, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications. So before we jump in, I do want to jump into the topic. I want to talk about Rudy for a second. Alaskan prepper got a strike. Okay, because he was giving advice of what people should do with their money as far as the banks and that type of stuff go. And I'm not going to get into that, but they ended up giving him a strike. So he is not able to post for a week and or live stream for a week. So it's part of what we deal with YouTube. Unfortunately, it happens. He's a good dude. I think Rudy's a good dude, and it's so what he has to do now, and I got it. So the way it works is because he got a strike. So he already had a warning. They do a warning first. The warning never goes away. So the warning always stays on there. If you get a strike, the strike is on there for 90 days. Okay. If you get a second strike within that 90-day time frame, you can't post for 2 weeks or live stream for 2 weeks. That's how they do it. Okay. Um, yeah, you telling the truth equals a YouTube strike. Well, yes. That I've seen that, or prepping survival, or giving your opinion. Giving your opinion on certain topics that they have decided that we are not allowed to talk about will also get you a strike. So those things you have to be careful of. You have to be conscious of, and it's unfortunate, but that's the rules that it's their ball. We're just playing with their ball. And if they decide to take and if you get a third strike in 90 days, your channel is shut down. Now, what happens too? Again, after 90 days, a strike comes off. So as long as he doesn't get another strike within the 90 days, that strike is removed, and then he's back down to if he gets another strike past that point, it's another week, just a week. So I've had that happen to me twice, guys. I've had that happen to me twice. One of my strikes, and just so you know, just to kind of give you an idea, I gave my opinion on the election. Gave my opinion on the election. Okay. And so that got me a strike. So, yeah. But what if he was unaware of the first strike? I hear that happening. No, you will know. No, if you get a strike, you know. You're not going to not know. Believe me, if you get a strike, you can't upload, you can't live stream. You know you got a strike. So that's just how that's just the way it goes. So, but yeah, oh yeah, Hella's here. She's on the floor. She's sleeping now. She's tired because every trip that I made, she went with me. So I wasn't able to because everything was so wet and muddy and all that type of stuff. I was not able to back the truck up to unload, except up at the shipping container. I did back it up there, but the other stuff I had to walk in to the big blue house. So yeah, so that was fun. So but yeah, hey, you know what? We got our steps in today. We got our good exercise in. I'll tell you what, I was definitely tired. I just took like an hour and a half nap. I was like, I got to get a nap in before this live stream. But like I said, it's just that's. I'm excited to be back in West Virginia. I'm not gonna lie. When I go back to New York now, it doesn't feel like home anymore. It really doesn't. This feels like home, and so that's where I'm at with that. It's I mean I love my family, I love my animals in New York, but my heart's not there anymore. So how many hours of driving? It takes me 8 hours. Yep. I don't know. I've been watching her. If she's gonna have puppies, it would be around the 15th of September. So I'm definitely keeping an eye on her and seeing if she's getting heavier or anything like that. So we will have to see. We will have to see. All right. So let's actually talk about the topic for a second. Let's do that, and then we can go further on from there. Oh, going back to the strike. So that was I got a strike for that, and then I got a strike because I was told I was giving medical misinformation. That was my first strike. And it had something to do with this, and I don't recall exactly. So that's what we don't talk about this. But yeah, so those were my two strikes, and but that's part of the what you got to deal with. You know what I mean? It's they like I said, they hold all the cards, and what are you going to do? So all right, um, double standard realistically. So I'm going to use a wonderful example right now that I just read about this today, and I don't know if any of you other people have read about this. So Lori Lightfoot, the wonderful mayor of Chicago, which is just a fantastic city to live in, unless you're black and you're killing each other left, right, and center. Unfortunately, and that I never will understand either. I'll be honest with you. Okay, if Black Lives mattered so much, realistically, if Black Lives mattered so much, you start in your own neighborhoods and not you have Beetlejuice. That's exactly what she looks like. Um, you would start in your own neighborhoods and make them better. But that's just me. That's who am I, right? I don't know. I don't live there, but anyway. So she was talking about how they need to really lock down and with the red light cameras and all that type of stuff. But within the last, I think they said 2 weeks. Within the last 2 weeks, the two vehicles that they have toting her around the city have had three red light. I think it was three red light cameras. It might be two red light cameras, and I know it was at least two for speeding. Now, and guess what? Those fines aren't paid. Isn't that amazing how that works? So there's rules for all of us peons. Us peons have the rules that we have to follow, but the upper elite they don't have to follow those rules. Like I'm going to go over, right? I'm an elite. I'm an elite. I'm going to go over for the climate change summit. So I'm going to fly my private jet over to that. And then I'm going to have the limo pick me up at the airport and drive me around and do that, right? But the rest of you peons, you need to do it differently. You need to fly coach. You should not have your own private jets. You can't do that. That's not right. You're being selfish. Why? How does that work? So these people fly in private jets. They go to these meetings and then they tell us what we need to do to cut back on to make the planet better while they just continue to do whatever they want to do. It is a maddening. Sonia says they did away with the red light cameras here. They did the same thing in Rochester. They had the red light cameras in Rochester, and what it disproportionately ended up doing was hurting the poor community, is what ended up happening. Okay, and they also had a problem with people just weren't paying the fines, because if you got, like, I know my ex-wife got one of those red light camera tickets, and they sent, and of course the car is registered to me, so I get the ticket in the mail. And I'm like, what in the heck is this? And it's got the car going under it, and the light's red. I'm like, I. So, but anyway, so she ended up having getting that ticket. Well, I paid it, because, but it was no points, and then, so that was a weird thing that they did in New York. It was no points, but you got this ticket, you had to pay your ticket. But a lot of people wouldn't pay the tickets. They were just not paying them. So they had like over a $500,000, I think it was. I mean, so we're not talking about a small amount of money. We're talking about a large amount of money where people just weren't paying. And so they eventually did away with the red light cameras. So, yeah, so basically they scammed you out of money. Exactly. That's what they do. That's exactly what that whole system was set up for. Um, it's to screw the little guy. Always to screw the little guy. Now, should we be obeying the traffic laws? Yeah, we should be. But I don't think that we need to be under the watchful eye of Big Brother all the time. What are the police doing? Well, that's their job you know, to give people those tickets, and then people can yell at them. You pulled me over because I'm old. Too funny. Anyway, yeah, it's just but like I said again, with the elite, it's just like, here's a question I have. I always have a lot of questions. I look at stuff and I go, that's interesting. I think that's, I got a couple of those tonight. So one of my questions would be, whatever came of the DWI charges against Pelosi's husband? Has anybody heard? Is that in the news? Is that front page news that Pelosi's husband? What you are hearing about, that they sold the stocks, that they insider trading crap. Not, and you can't accuse them of insider trading. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that they did insider trading, but because people were like, well, before this announcement happened, he bought all this stock. Um, it looks not good, right? It doesn't look good. So they ended up selling that stock, but still pending since they found porn. Ah, okay. Yeah, I hadn't heard anything about it. Yes, Tony Blackmoon. I did hear how the fairy godmother in the Magic Kingdom. They are, oh, it's child porn. That's not good either. No, those people are weird. Those people like that, I don't get that. Um, so you look at fairy godmother. They will not be calling it fairy godmother anymore. They're gonna name it some other ridiculous thing. It blows me away what they do. It just blows me away. So there's another thing. Whatever happened with the whole Hunter Biden? I'll bet his laptop, right? Whatever happened with that? But I will bet you money. I'll bet you money, any money you want to make. If it had been one of Trump's kids, oh. But again, there's us and there's them. The media darlings, they can't, they have to be very careful, kid gloves, and, we can't say anything bad about certain people, and we have to be careful. Here's another thing you're not hearing anything about, and I'm going to tell you what. I heard the story that it was this. I find that highly skeptical. I will tell you what it looked like to me. And just as I'm not saying that it is this, I'm not saying that it's not. Georgia Guidestones, right? Somebody said, oh, it was a lightning strike. I don't buy that it was a lightning strike. Somebody's trying to say, oh, yeah, it was a lightning strike. Lightning strike's not going to do that kind of damage on granite pillars, just so you know. It's not going to do that. Not like that, okay? What it appeared to look, what it looked like was a missile strike. is what it appeared to look like. Now, I'm not saying that it was a missile strike, but you are not hearing um, anything about that. No follow-up investigation, no nothing. You're hearing nothing about that, which I find interesting and very suspect. That's just, like I said, that I find that very, very interesting because I mean, all this. So then they tear the rest of it down because now it's a safety, concern, and it's just gone. Nope, no more guide stones. Nothing to see here. Don't pay attention. Look at this. Look at what we have over here. Pay attention to this. This happens all the time, guys. It happens all the times. Yeah, they had a bull goes down, and the next day the cleanups. Yeah, yeah. I'm going to be careful with that one because I don't want any issues talking about that one either. They had video of a bomber in a car. Ah, okay. I had not seen that part of it. No, I had not seen that. Did you see that the Pope in Canada is apologizing to the indigenous people? Oh, because they kidnapped their children and beat them and killed them, forcing Catholicism down their throats. That stuff you talking about? You talking about that? But it's wonderful. It's wonderful, right? Disgusting. When you have a people that believe a certain thing, leave them alone. Let them believe whatever they want to believe. Who cares? How does it affect you? You don't have to save everybody. You don't have to save everybody. So it is amazing, amazing to me. Like the bombing in Nashville back on Christmas Day, that looked like it was a missile strike. Yeah, I'm not saying that it wasn't either. It's interesting how certain things are, like I said, they're just gone. You don't hear about them anymore. Uh, you know, and it really depends on who does it, right? If it fits the narrative, if something happens and it fits the narrative, great. We're going to put it out there in national news, and we're going to say, "See, this group of people are bad. They're perpetuating everything. They're trying to take over because, again, and I've said this so many times, they want to keep us separated, guys. They don't want us to come together. They don't want us to look at each other and say, "Hey, you're just like me, except you're darker and your hair's different, and that's it. That's it." Or, your eyes are slanted in a different way, or you worship a different God than I do. They're all God, right? Whatever you're worshiping is still God, but you have a different religion. So, you have to be bad. It's just the manipulation drives me insane. I will be honest with you. It really drives me insane because we could do so much positive, good things if we come together. But if they keep us fighting over stupid, nonsensical stuff, and if we continue for people to have the victim mentality, I'm going to tell you what, I cannot stand the victim mentality, and I'm not directing that at black folks. Okay, there's a lot of black folks out there that have worked hard. They've done well, because realistically, if you work hard and you get your education, either be it plumbing, carpentry, if you go to school for whatever you're going to go to school for, or you have an idea and you come up with an invention and it takes off and you can make a lot of money and all that stuff. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter. Okay. Um, so certain cultures, the Asian culture, let's go with that, right? Asian culture has the highest IQ. Why does the Asian culture have the highest IQ? Because they are so focused, the families, on education. So they really push their kids to do, really studying is important, and education is important. So that's what they do. It's a traditional type of thing where you look at a lot of you look at a lot of people here in the United States, they don't have that mindset, that work ethic, that if I want to get ahead, nobody's giving it to me. I got to earn it. I got to get out there and I got to do things and I have to make it happen. And so that's why, you know, that's why we have so many problems that we have. Because if we, this is the big thing in the United States now. How do we screw over the system, right? How do we screw over the system? What can we do to manipulate the system to our advantage so I don't have to work and I can sit home and just collect my check? That's where people's mindsets are, and that's messed up. To me, it is that's another form of slavery. To me, you know, keep your husband, don't have a man in your life. Have your boyfriend and stuff like that, but he can't live in the house because then that way we can't collect the benefits. It's a mess. It is just a mess. So it's crazy to me. So here's something, another thought that I was thinking. You know, you look at the situation in Ukraine, right? And we've all heard different things. It's this, it's that. It's just I've heard the conspiracy theory of how they had all these labs over there and how the Russians went and they targeted those labs that were doing research that's not allowed here in the United States, but supposedly, and I'm not saying it's true, I'm not saying it's not true, that was funded by the U.S. Now, I don't know if it's true. Like I said, I don't have that intel or that information, but if something like that had any kind of validity, that would be quite interesting, I think. Be very interesting. Would change the way people look at stuff. But that will never, if it was, which I'm not saying that it is or it isn't, um, if it was, boy, they would suppress the crap out of that, right? Would they want people to know that we had something like that going on somewhere? No, they wouldn't want that. So, you know, very interesting stuff. If you have a thought and don't think, is it still a thought? That's an interesting way of looking at it as well. So, but yeah, it's just like, guys, I'll tell you, it's just there's a lot going on. My thing is the way that I am looking at everything. And so somebody, I get asked, how long do you think we got? Do you think this? Do you think that? And my thought is this: I feel like we're on that downward slope and we're picking up speed. And it's not just one thing; it's many things all coming together. So today, the Fed raised the interest rate by 0.75 point after raising it 0.75 point last month, where the month before they raised it 50 basis points, and the month before that they raised it 25 basis points. So that's quite an increase in a very short time. But back to back months, which I don't think has happened before. I don't believe that they raised it 75 basis points. So 0.75 point. Very interesting. So very, very interesting. But but it's so that's going to affect, right? Cost of everything, interest rates. If you try to get a loan, it's going to cost you a lot more money to get that loan now. Those things are all part of it. Yeah, it's because inflation keeps going up. Right, exactly. I'll be very interested to see what the numbers are going to end up being for July. And here's the other part of it: are they being truthful with the numbers? I'm not saying that they're not, and I'm not saying that they are. But when you when you have inflation, okay, but we're not going to include this, and we're not going to include that in the inflation numbers, when this and that are a huge reason why everything else is bad. When you have high gas prices, right? That makes a difference. When the cost of food went, okay, I'll give you an example. So Heather and I had gone to the store the other day, and we just getting a few things. I mean, one bag, guys, one bag of groceries, one bag, and it was $46. I was like, what? When the lady when she said 46, I'm like, $46 for one bag. And it wasn't even like it was a full bag. It wasn't a full bag. I'm just like, oh my God. It's amazing, you know? It's amazing. So, but yeah, it isn't going to get any better, guys. You know, I'm still having a hard time trying to get people to work for $20 to $25 an hour. That just blows me away. That blows me. The work ethic is gone. There is no work ethic, and I'm not going to tell you what. I'm not going to say all young people don't have a work ethic, but boy, a whole bunch of them don't have a work ethic. They just don't. They don't care, which blows me away even more. I just, I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to, and I always try to use myself as an example because, you know, I grew up poor. I mean, and I'm talking like really, really poor. We didn't have a whole lot. We didn't go out and eat at fancy places. And, if we got pizza once in a while, that was a big deal. Going to my grandmother's on Sundays was like a great treat because, grandma would always have cookies and stuff like that. And I would get, I think my allowance, if I remember correctly, if I'm remembering back right, was 50 cents a week. And so what I would do is I would take a quarter of it and I would take the other quarter. And on the way to grandma's, there was a place that we always stopped, and they had penny candy back then. So 25 cents, you got 25 pieces of candy, which was awesome. So those were things, and that's probably why I'm like I am now with sweets and stuff like that. Because if I want it, I'm gonna buy it and I'm gonna eat it because I don't care. And I'll never. That was one of the things. Like with my kids, when we went grocery shopping when my kids were little, the way I did it was this. And everybody has their own way of doing it. You can do whatever you want. I would say you can pick one thing that you want for you while we're doing this grocery shop. And then of course, they got cereal and other stuff like that too. But they had like one treat. One treat was theirs to get whatever they wanted. Um, you know, and so, so those type of things mold you to who you are. When you grow up with nothing and you realize, hey, the only way I'm getting anything is if I work for it, or other people decide the only way I'm getting something is if I steal for it, right? I'm not a big fan of jail. Not my thing, not where I want to be. I used to tell people back in the day, I said, I can't go to prison. And they would be like, why? I said, I'm too pretty. I would be very popular in prison. When I had my long hair and I was young, before I got old and fat, I was a pretty boy. People, I was a good looking dude. I was like, I would be way too popular. And I wasn't a big guy. I mean, I graduated high school at 142 pounds. So I was like, I'm 220 now. So, I mean, I could handle myself if I had to go to prison now. But back then, no, it would not have been good. So, breaking the law and stealing and stuff was not on the cards. So work was. So I worked. We had a golf course where at 12 years old, that was down the road from my grandparents, and we would go there and we would sink up in the mud to our knees barefoot and pull out golf balls and sell them to the golfers. 14 years old, I got my working papers and I was baling hay in the summer times. I wanted money. I wanted to get the stuff that I wanted to get. And that's how it goes. As a senior in high school, I worked a full-time job, you know, but, it just, I remember the first time this is going back way. I went out and I was working. Where was I? I'm trying to remember where I was. I was working someplace. I don't remember where, but I went out and I bought a TV and a VCR. Back then when they had VCRs, and I was like, I felt like the richest man in the world. I mean, I had my car. My car was paid for. It was a beater. It was a '72 Chevy Impala boat. I had my TV and my VCR. I mean, it was awesome, but I worked for it and I earned it, and so nobody gave it to me, and so because of that, I appreciated it more, and I think that's what we're lacking in today's society. Parents, my generation, wanted their kids to have the things that they didn't have, so they gave them everything, and then their had kids and they just gave their kids everything, and I think that's the wrong thing to instill in a lot of these kids. Now, I'm again, I'm not saying all kids, I'm not saying all kids, but a lot of them that did happen this way. You know, if you teach them, hey, get a job, work hard, save your money, get the stuff that you want to get. That was instilled at a very, very early age. And I always remembered that my grandfather was always a worker, worked his butt off his whole life. My grandmother did the same thing. So, and they had stuff because they worked and they had a decent life. So we used to go pick up Coke bottles and candy money. Yeah, I mean, you do whatever hustle you got to do. Cut people's grass, shovel driveways. I mean, you name it, I've done it. I mean, we always trying to hustle that money. You know, so but yeah, it just I people think that, oh, my senior year of high school was so wonderful. I worked full time. I had two classes, English and gym. Some days I had to be like in gym was every other day. So some days I was in school for 45 minutes and other days I was there for an hour and a half. So I came in late and I left early. I didn't care about school. I didn't give a crap about none of that stuff. None of it. I had things I wanted to do. I had people that I liked hanging out with, and it wasn't the people at the school. So, but anyway, so that that's just it's that work ethic is not here in all these kids today like it should be, and there's that drive is not there. Here, okay, so here's what I have a problem with, and I don't get it. I just don't get it. Okay, when I was a kid, I mean, I played Pac-Man, Space Invader, Centipede. Those were the first three big games that came out, right? So we played them all the time. That's what we did. And then you grew up and you got a job and you went to work and you had a family. You didn't have time to play games. These kids today, and I say kids, I'm talking like 30 and under. All they do is they sit around and play games all the time. I'm like, what? 30 something years old and look at me, I'm playing my game. You got to watch how I do this. What do I care about your stupid game? It's a game. Grow up, go have a life. I don't get it. I don't get it. So, but maybe it's just me, different generation. I know, but I don't think you're a big tough guy playing Call of Duty at 40 years old, sitting on your couch, swigging down beers, and you're the cool guy because you can play Call of Duty better than all the rest of them. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. So, yeah, you young whippersnappers. I just, like I said, I know it's a different generation, but I don't understand it. I don't. I got better things to do than sit in the house. I mean, like this time of year, I don't ever want to be inside. I want to be out. I want to be doing stuff. So real quick, guys, we're almost up to egg count time, but real quick, I wanted to talk about Deloma, the immune support system. It's a really good thing to have. It's the 8-in-1 immune support. Again, it's an American-made company. Yeah, get off my lawn! What are you doing playing kickball in my front yard? I would not be that guy. I'd be like, yeah, man, go ahead, do what you got to do. So anyway, so it's an 8-in-1 immune support system. Vitamin C, echinacea, turmeric, zinc, vitamin D3, elderberry, ginger, and garlic. 60 pills per bottle. A good thing to have. It's going to help boost your immune system. I actually haven't taken mine today, so I am going to take them in front of you. So I take these every day. They're really, really good, and I think that in an SHTF event, it's important to have something to help boost your immune system. JJ is throwing the link up. You can save 10% by using my link if you decide to order this, okay? And again, American made, American based company. All of this stuff is in from the United States. None of it's shipped in from overseas. You can save another 10% with them if you signed up to get it monthly. So definitely take advantage of that as well. And like I said, I like it. I use it every day. In an SHTF event, you are not going to have the intake that you have now. So something like that is a really good night or a good thing to have. So, but anyway, So let us do, it is that time. Let's do egg count. So how many eggs do you think there was today? And yes or no, um, what is, oh, this here, guys, green tea. Green tea. It is green tea with ginseng and honey. That is my go-to drink. I love that. That and water. I drink a lot of water. So I'll give you guys, get your guesses up there. So I'll give you guys a moment and we will go from there. No, but it was nice to be back down here. Hella did real good on the ride. Uh, we had, I didn't catch any rain for the first 6 hours of driving. The next hour after that, it was like a little bit here and there. The last hour, it was pretty crappy, pretty crappy. So not fun. I was rolling through some rainstorms that were coming down where it was tough to see. But did I slow down? What do you guys think? Did I slow down because it was raining that hard? The answer is no, I was not. I kept going the same speed I was going if it was dry. All right. Uh, now I got to remember who said it. I think it was survival prepping, 6 eggs, and no. If you had the same exact guess as survival prepping with 6 eggs and no, then you were correct. So that is where we were egg count wise today. And so there we are. So congratulations. You won absolutely nothing except for bragging rights until the next live stream. So yeah, just I think yesterday I think yesterday it ended up being like 9 eggs yesterday, and Thick Neck did lay yesterday. So, and no sunshine here today. I'll tell you when it, and of course, you guys are gonna be like, oh, he's probably losing his mind because he wants to cut the grass, right? Of course, I want to cut the grass. So it finally stopped raining, probably around 5 o'clock, I think, in that range. So I did I did go out with the push mower and do a little bit through here just so that it's easier for me in that at that time frame. But that was um, that was the extent of that. As soon as it does stop and clears up and I can get out here and cut the grass, I'll cut the grass. But I'm not. That's not. I'm not worried about it. I think actually I'm gonna look at the forecast. I'll tell you guys in a second what I'm looking at here. So tomorrow 60% chance of rain. Friday 80% chance of rain. Mostly cloudy on Saturday. So it looks like Saturday may be the day for cutting grass. Sunday 60% chance. Monday 60% chance. Tuesday 50% and then 40% on Wednesday. And then next Thursday is supposed to be partly cloudy. And then the 5th, the Friday, is a 40% chance. A lot of rain in the forecast, but that doesn't mean it's going to rain the whole time. So I'll get a chance. I'll get it cut. I'm not worried about it. I'll if I do it in sections, I don't care. There's yeah, you're gonna have to cut it, and it's like, well, I've been gone. I've been gone almost 2 weeks. So you know, what happened with the solar flares? Not as bad as we had thought. So I did not bring the Harley down this time. No, glad. I actually think what I'm going to probably do, to be honest, uh, maybe in maybe in September, end of September, I'll bring the bike down then. I have a lot of things that I got to take care of. Heather has not seen Scraggly Cat for the last few days. You got to remember, Scraggly Cat's wild cat. He's not fixed, so he's definitely out catting. So who knows where he's been? She keeps leaving food out for him. So, but yeah, it's you know, drought here, big time. 500 acres burnt down 20 minutes from here a few days ago. Wow. Yeah, that's you think hype on the solar flares? I don't know. Honestly, I just, I just try to share information that's put out there of what could possibly, what possibly could happen. Do not cut wet grass with an electric mower. Well, I don't have an electric mower, so I guess that's not a worry. So, yeah, that would not be good. I don't think. I've been doing my rain dancing and still rain. Well, we've had, like I said, down here they've had plenty recently. So I have, I'm gonna. It, like I said, it depends on how much it's raining. If it's not raining, if we have like a shower here and there, I can still get other things done. So I height means the solar power flares were a dud at. Oh, I gotcha. I gotcha. All right, no worries. I wasn't criticizing. I just was like, Tony Blackmoon says, I think most people's brains are fried by the solar flare. I'm gonna, it amazes me the number of people that will not think for themselves, will not do any research, will not look at anything logically and say that could be a problem. It is amazing to me, and they or either it's either that or, and it's just strictly my opinion, they want to pretend it's not happening. However, do not mow wet grass. It's hard on the mower and your undercarriage. Yeah, I just did a little area up here where I'm walking through, and I didn't want that grass to be super high, and it's really wet. Yeah, so BDK man, Ed, I completed my rain catchment system today. We'll find out tomorrow how well it works. So that's one of the things, guys. Too. I'm glad you got that done. That's awesome. I have to make a trip to Lowe's. I will be doing. I will be doing that myself, getting my rain catchment system squared away on this time down. And so I have to get there. I got to pick up a few things there, and I'm going to get it done. I wasn't in the right head place. Number one, ran into some problems, which was frustrating, and it just exacerbated everything else. So, ever get your Troy built mower fixed yet? No, because Ronnie hasn't come back down to look at it. I got the other lawnmower, so I figured let Ronnie come down and look at it, and he's more mechanic. Let's put it like this: I am not mechanically inclined at all. Um, I'm not. I'll be the first to admit it. That's not where my brain is. It's not how it works. Other people can look at things and they can figure stuff out. So I leave that to people that know how to figure those things out. That's not my bag. It's just not. Just like for other people, they couldn't do the medical stuff that I do. So, you know, you know, gloves ed metal is not your friend. Yeah, right, right. Um, but no, I got frustrated with that system, and so I had to walk away from it. Like I said, there was a lot of stuff going on that private, that I didn't really want to talk about that much, and so I was not in a good head spot. I'm good now. I feel better. We all, see here's the beauty. All of us, we all go through funks. It happens. We're going to have periods where things are great, things are going well, and then you're going to have periods where it's not. And it's how you deal with. Glad to see you now have a safer looking ladder. Yes, really happy about that because I was actually thinking about bringing my big ladder down, the giant, the great big one. This one that I brought down is a little. They call it a little giant. Um, but the other one that I still have in New York is like a big giant one. So that one will come down here as well, eventually. But Geminis typically have a high IQ for figuring things out. Well, Geminis are, yeah, we're like two people in one. We're like scattered. We think, we overthink, overanalyze everything. It's just what we do. Um, but yeah, mechanically wise, that's just not my thing. Never has been, never will be. I excel in other things. So when you have people that are good at that, you say, "Here, brother, have at it." So when Ronnie comes down, I'll have him look at that. We'll figure that out, and it could be something simple. And I don't want to go in there screwing around. I don't want to take it to a shop and have them lie to me and say, "Oh yeah, it's going to cost this much money," when it's maybe a pin, a $2 part. And so that's why it runs great. The mower deck runs. It's just not going anywhere. So it could be a pin, and so that's I'll wait until he takes care. Comes down and looks at that, and that's fine. I got the other one, and so I'm going to use that, and I'm going to go from there. So that's kind of how that goes. Reminder: prep those fix-it kits for glasses. Oh yeah, glasses are important. I have several pairs of glasses, and I think that's important to have. I think we should all have backup glasses, and I don't ever throw all my. So, like I'm really bad. Well, I shouldn't say bad because it's just like my old glasses. When I get a new pair, I just take the old pair and I put them in the box and I set them aside. Because I figure if it ever came to that point and I needed them, then they're there. So, Sonya said the only thing I've ever fixed was computers. Yeah, and there's something with that. That is nothing that I'm good with either. So, you know, yeah, Dollar Tree for readers. I'm nearsighted, so my near vision is great. I can see everything up close, fantastic. So, yeah, yeah, exactly. You save the old ones if you have an emergency and you break your new glasses. Then you have that other pair that you can rely on. So, I think that's just a smart play. What was the mower problem? What happened was I was coming down the hill, and all of a sudden the mower just took off on me. Like something broke is what it basically felt like, and it was still running, but it will not go in forward. It will not go in reverse, so you can't get it to go. You can't get it to engage. The mower deck itself, as far as the blades, they work perfectly fine. So and the mower was still running. So that's what had happened with that. So belt drive, no, if the belt drive looks good underneath there. So I mean, it could be something like that. I don't know. Like I said, I'm going to let Ronnie look at it and let him kind of go from there. So I got my prescription, then bought backup pairs on the online sites with a coupon code. That's the way to do it. Absolutely. So yeah, but I have some projects. Like I said, I got to get more gravel in on the road in. That's going to take some work to do that, and again, it's going to depend on the weather. It's a matter of getting up and getting going, and hopefully it's not raining, and then I can fill in more potholes. I would like to take the jackhammer. There's at least one more stone, probably two, that I could bring down. And so that needs to be done. Yeah, it could be the shear pin on your transmission. Exactly. So that's why I'm going to let Ronnie look at it, and that's it. So that's yeah. I'm not going to worry about that. So when he gets here, he'll look at it, and then if that works, then we got two mowers that are working. So having a backup is never a bad thing. There's a lever to make the mower freewheel. Maybe it popped out. Usually seen from the backside. Oh, did you decide on full gravel or two lanes? That's a good question, Osman Sauce. Thanks for asking. I think the way we're going to do it is we're going to go not full lane, because what ends up happening, the gravel in the center, just the crap grows up through there anyway. So if we lay it in heavy in the tracks, I think that's what we're going to do to start with. And I think because you can get a lot further with a load. And so what I think we're going to end up doing, and like I said, obviously I got to talk to the the guy that's going to be delivering it. So bring in the first load, do an area, bring in the second load, and do right over that same area again. So that'll double how much are right in the tracks itself. And I think that that is probably a good way to do that. We have to do it as time. See, time gets away from me, and I'm actually on it tonight, which is kind of scary. We're going to do some shout outs. So let us start. Let's get that part going. Yeah, the gravel guy. Yeah, I have a gravel guy. I got the bulldozer guy. I had my bulldozer guy in New York was Bill, and he was. Then there was a company that I used for my gravel. So All right. So first of all, Icky Can. Would definitely want you to support him. Good guy, up in Canada. He's been living off grid almost as long as I have, and so he's up there. So I would ask you to support him. We have Angry Prepper down in New York City with Jason. Jason's a good dude. Jason actually will be coming next month when I do my get together here. So he's planning on coming to the get together here next month. You have poor Alaskan prepper, Rudy, who is in YouTube jail right now. So go watch some of his older videos just to give him some support. If you would, I would appreciate that because believe me, it takes a bite out of you when you can't post and if that's how you're making your money, it definitely hurts. You have Alaskan Granny. You have Sean James with the Sean James channel and My Self Reliance. Two very good channels. Good dude, doing a lot of building up there, up in Canada as well. North Shore Preparedness, also up in Canada. We have Corporal's Corner. You have Bjorn Hansen. You have 80K Man up in the Adirondacks. Bizarizza Jizza doing his Carrington Chronicles series. So he's another good channel. Let's see, where was I? Okay, you have Marfugal News with Adam and Dax out on the West Coast in Seattle. You have Magic Prepper in North Dakota. Cody with Wrangle Star, another good dude, I think, anyway. Red Poppy Ranch. There's Survival Lily. You have Kyle's Cabin with Kyle and Sierra up in Minnesota. Then you have Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods. They go back and forth between Alaska and Minnesota. And so they have, husband and wife, two different channels, but really good information with both of them. You have Green Greg's, Southern Prepper 1, Gray Man Prepping, St. Bernard Acres with Joe. You have Doug and Stacy, a lot of good information with Doug and Stacy. The Nomadic Movement down in Panama, nice young couple down there. You have the Green Dream Project out in Arizona. I really like what they're doing there. Camping with Steve Wallace, good dude as well. Very entertaining. Does a lot of stealth camping. It's just very fun. He's up in Canada. Monkey Works, the Needy Homesteader, a lot of good information on their channel as well. You have Boss of the Swamp. Also, I like his channel. Been watching him for a long time. Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. I would absolutely suggest you go support him. Good dude. A lot of good information. Patera with the Appalachian Homestead. You have City Prepper, Lumina Acres, Suspicious Observer, Bear Independent, The Uneducated Economist. You have Bushcraft Bear, who is now in Germany for, I don't know how long he's supposed to be over there for, but that's where he's at the moment. Mary Greeley News. Any of your updates on Yellowstone or any kind of volcanic activity, she is your lady for that. Adapt 2030. You have Malachi's Corner, also has a channel that we should be checking out. Ice Age Farmer, Ryan Hall Y'all. He's the man with the weather. He will tell you what is happening. Good dude as well. Really gets into it and is very, very good at what he does. Russell Brand. Some people like him, some people don't. I love Russell Brand. He makes you think, and I think that that is important. Deep South Homestead. We have The Outsider, The Fit Farmer, Prepper Princess, Simple Life Reclaimed, Townsend's, The Prepared Mind, Pinball Preparedness, gotta love pinball, East Tennessee Preparedness, The Economic Ninja, and Little House Off Gritty. They are also in Tennessee. Good folks. And so that is it for the shout outs, folks. So I hope that, you continue to support folks. And I think that that's important that we should do that. Some great channels out there, a lot of good information. Oh, yes, we got to talk about Heather's Etsy account. JJ, if you would throw her link up there, please. Heather has her Etsy account where she makes cat hats. She's making different things. She loves crocheting and doing all those type of things. She also makes jewelry. So if you are interested, if you have a request, she will work with you. And so there we go. All right. So definitely check out her as well. So anyway, uh, man. No, like I said, I'm very happy to be back. A lot of work has to be done. I have some things that I got to take care of that I'm like looking at it and I'm going, okay, can I do that in the rain if it's raining or not? So there are things that I can do. Like I said, I can get down into. I brought down. JG just threw Heather's link up, guys. Um, I brought down one of my shelving units. All of my shelving units will be here eventually. They will all be set up in the shipping container, and it's awesome to have. Now, they come with this particle board crap that once you put stuff on the particle board, it ends up looking like this concave. It's just garbage. So what I've done with the one that I got now is I took 3/4 inch plywood, cut that to size. It's metal things, and you know I put that 3/4 inch plywood in there, and it's not going to be concave. It's going to hold the weight with no issues. So, but yeah, so that's one of the things that I'll be working on, and I'll show that when I do that. So, but I'll tell you what, that is the way to do it. The stuff that they have, out there to use, the particle board garbage, it's not long term. It's not a good thing. Like I said, 3/4 inch plywood will not bend. So my husband puts L-shaped metal bars on mine. Yeah, I mean you can that'll work too. But like I said, I would rather have the 3/4 inch plywood because I know it's never going to go anywhere. Because it's inside, it's not going to rot, and so. But that's just that's what I'm doing. So you guys can do whatever you want, whatever works for you. Great. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong or any of that stuff. You do whatever works for you. I'm just going to show you what works for me. Uh, you know, each trip that I come down here and I bring more stuff down, it really makes me feel better to have, like the last trip, an example, the last trip that I was down here, I was working on some things and I didn't have the tools that I needed. And it was frustrating because I have them all, but they were all in New York. So, I needed to get those things down here. And so I did bring, like I said, some tools this time. Uh, you know, be careful in that container. What? Why would you say that? I'm not living in it. I'm using it for storage. I'm using it for no food is going to go in there or anything like that. Food's all going to eventually be in a root cellar so that it can be climate controlled and at a constant temperature. That's the game plan with that. You can also cut a piece of 1/2 inch by 2 lengths of the sheet and center it under the shelf for support. Yeah, you can do that too. I mean, whatever. Oh, I got locked in mine. Yeah, that's. I think you had mentioned that before. Yeah, no, I actually when I went in there this time because you had said you got locked in yours. I always have my phone on me, and I propped the door. So yes, that I absolutely did that. So I listened to what you said. So yes, that's why I will be very careful with that. I promise you. So how are you going to have it? Yeah, shoot your way out. Yeah, shipping container. It would not be fun to be locked in a shipping container. I don't imagine. That's just my guess. But yeah, I made sure I had my phone on me, and so yeah, I was being very very careful. No, because I listened to what you said. I saw that. And I'm like, yeah, I do not want to do that. So what do we got? 312. We're only at 270 in the chat. Thumbs up wise. So again, if you have not shot a thumbs up, I would ask you to please do so. Ed, those blue Harbor Freight flashlights with the magnets work great in that box, free with a coupon. Ah, okay, cool. Yeah, I'm going to definitely have to figure all that out. Yeah, concrete block to prop the door open. Yep, yep, Sonia, I hear you. So, but yeah, like I said, I'm just trying to get things squared away as much as I can, get organized, and each trip down, it'll get a little bit better. There's a lot that I can do. I have some project that this winter that I will be working on. That no matter what the weather's doing outside, I'll be underground. So definitely working on stuff like that. And so I have plans. I have a lot of plans. It's just going to take time, and like I said, it's just I love when people say, "Well, you need to do this and you need to do that," and well, I'll tell you what, guys. Anybody wants to cut me a check for 10, 15,000 bucks, I'm more than happy to take it and use it on the property. I would be have no problem with that whatsoever. Now, if you'd like to cut a check for 1 million, if you're watching and you're vastly wealthy and you don't money's not an object, I will absolutely take that money and put it into this project down here happily. So I have to just right now, I have to do what I have to do. The initial idea was to sell the property in New York. Obviously, I don't have that cash flow to put into here right now. So I can work on things that I need to work on, which is not a problem. And, I'm going to do what I have to do. So that's where I'm at. The money tree did not do well. I planted a couple of them down here. Not do deer ate everything, so terrible. I wish, right? So, but yeah, so it's just just doing the best I can. There's things that I can do and that I can take care of down here, and that's what I'm doing. So, all right. So let's do this now that we're at of course it's 10 after 9. So we have to do. We are Legion. We are Legion because we are many. We are all over the country. We're all over the world. We are a huge network of people. Where is everybody from tonight? We have Waterloo, New York, Montreal, Quebec, Canada, Franklin County, Ohio, Connecticut, BC, Canada, Central Pennsylvania, Fort Worth, Texas, Tucson, Arizona, Allegiance, Ohio, Somerset, Pennsylvania, Central Missouri, Texas, Upper East Tennessee, Auburn, California, Nowhere, Oklahoma, St. Augustine, Florida, Georgia, Indiana, Western New York, Northwest Florida, Erin, Tennessee, Ontario, Canada, Pennsylvania Wilds, Edgewater, Florida, I believe, Texas, Northeast Tennessee, Wisconsin, Inverness, Florida with Clyde. How you doing tonight, buddy? Ocala, Florida, East Central Illinois, Northern Utah. Very cool. I loved Utah, by the way. I thought it was very cool out there. Central Indiana, Missouri and the Ozarks, Ulster Park, New York, Northern Nevada, Apollo, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Cape Cod, Massachusetts, St. Louis County, Missouri, uh, Longueuil, Quebec, Canada, St. Louis, Missouri. We have Montana, 95 degrees, not fun. San Bernardino, California. Let's see. Northern Highlands of California. Let's see. Thaxton, Virginia. Tiny Hornell, New York. Yes, it is. Not a big town, but it's cool. Houston, Texas. So, again, all over the place, all over the country, all over the world. We're a huge network of people. We're the ones that really can make a difference. It just we can help people now. We definitely can help people in a post event with our knowledge, what we can do to teach them how to help themselves. And I think that that is important. I really do. As far as like with what I've done down here, okay, I want you guys to understand something. In New York, it took me 8 years to get to where I'm at in New York. Oh, I got to mention another comment. I just thought this was freaking hilarious, just because to me it's amusing. So, but so I had a subscriber said, if you're 35 and younger, you can take your time doing something, but when you're your age, you got to hurry up and get it done. No, you don't. Doesn't matter how old you are, it's how your mental fitness is and how physically fit you are. That's where it makes a difference. But my New York property took me 8 years to get it to where that's at. This here is going to take time. It is not going to happen overnight. Okay. So, you know, have you been to my town? Hornell? Oh, yeah. Lots. Lots. That's not far from where I'm at, from my New York property, to be honest with you. So, but, uh, but anyway, it's going to take time here, and I'm okay with it. See, this is a weird thing. Everybody wants everything yesterday. They want it instantaneous, instant gratification. Nobody wants to be patient and wait for things to come together. Things happen, delays happen. Um, it's how it is. Okay, you know, and yeah, mental health is a priority. Yep, and it, it's all about getting your list and getting. I'm telling you what, the two biggest things that we got done this year that I thought were the most important things was getting that solar system set up and getting the battery room built. Those were major, major, major priorities. Now, a rain catchment system, which will be done on this trip here while I'm here this time. That is the next major thing. Working on a root cellar, working on that is another thing that's important because I want to, before the snow flies, I would like to be able to have, uh, you know, all my perishables underground in a controlled environment. So that's important as well. So there's all these things that people don't think about that are all part of what has to be done, and it takes time, it takes money, and so you have to work at things, and as it goes, and you get things done, then you move on to the next thing. As long the important thing, guys, realistically, and I talk about it, STD, right, at the end of all my videos, you set a goal, you make it happen, and then you work on the next thing. Um, you know, Having people send me the goji bush or goji berries, the pomegranates. One of the ladies in my group, brought a couple of fig trees. You know, getting raspberries in, getting grapes in, getting blueberry bushes in. These are all things that I want to get done. I want to get fruit trees in. Now, is it going to happen this year? I hope so. But have you thought of selling your motorcycle in fun building West Virginia? Oh, that's actually funny. I will tell you this right now. I will tell you, no, and I know you're being serious, but I will be honest with you. I am never selling my motorcycle. No, motorcycle is never going to be for sale. So no, nope, 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 and no once again. Um, you know, you look 20 years younger since the winter, if you ask me. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. So, no, I'm not never selling my bike. I need my bike for mental clarity. When I'm having a bad day and I'm stressed out, and my nephew sold his Harley for a John Deere. Well, he must not like riding so much then. I love riding. I will never great reaction to a bike question. Hey, I'm sorry. I love my bike. And it's definitely, I need wind therapy. I will be honest with you. Um, you know, it's paid for. There's no payments on it. So, most likely, Judy, yes, that's what's going to happen. Most likely, I will be wintering in the camper. So, what are my priorities with that? Good. So, I'm going to address that really quickly. If I decide to winter in the camper, now I may build something through the course of the winter. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. But I'll have to skirt the camper in. I probably would put up like a wind fence for like because the wind blows off and down. So I'd probably do something like that. get a couple of bigger propane tanks, or maybe even have a company come in and bring me like a 330-pound propane tank that I can hook up to the camper, and so then that way I would have plenty of propane. So that may be something like that. I may do something like that. Um, you know, it'll be what it's going to be. It'll work out. I'm not really that worried about it at this point in time. I will tell you this right now: I have no intention of wintering in New York. That's not on the list. That's not where I'm going to be. I'm going to be here. Now, will I continue to go up? And yeah, there's a helmet law in West Virginia. Yes, no helmet law in Pennsylvania. New York has the helmet law. West Virginia has the helmet law too. So, but yeah. So, like I said, I'm going to bring my bike down here, probably September at some point. End of September is my goal, to do that. And there's other things that are priorities right now. Now, when I go to New York, I ride. Not gonna lie, I like to get out there and ride. But I have things that I need to get done down here, things that I need to do, and what a lot of the things that I can do right now is physical bull work type of labor, and so that's what I'm gonna do. And all right. So anyway, um, that's where we're at, guys. Listen, I'm gonna want to thank my moderators. Do a fantastic job keeping the chat clean. You guys and ladies and gentlemen are awesome. So thank you for what you do. Very much appreciated. Uh, yeah, probably. Yeah, I probably won't need the propane till later down here. It's not like New York, so I will still be able to. Like I said, once we get the first freeze and the ticks are done, the ticks aren't that bad as long as you stay out of the woods, you know. Um, but it's just. But anyway, so I want to thank all you guys for also being here as well. I appreciate all of you. Yeah, all the wind in my hair. I like that. I like it when the wind's blowing in my hair. So, but anyway, yeah, that's you know, lots to do, lots to get accomplished. I'm just going to work at it, and we're going to get things done, and that's all we're going to do. So, but anyway, guys, remember, we are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. Honestly, if we could ever figure that one out, if we could come together, it would be amazing what we could accomplish. It really could. It would be unbelievably amazing. Also, remember to hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So, for those of you who don't wear a helmet, we have a healthcare system refer to you as donor cycles. What I call people. Oh, so if I don't have to wear a helmet, I don't wear a helmet. I'll be honest with you. When I went out to Sturgis last year, didn't wear a helmet the whole time I was there. When I had to come back, then I put my helmet on. Organ donors are people that ride crotch rockets. Those are organ donors. That's what we call them because they take stupid chances and they do stupid things. So, but yes, you can be killed at any time on a motorcycle. It happens. But anyway, guys, remember again, hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every day. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really, really important to tell the people that you care about every single day. All right. Just spray your boots because August is when the seed ticks hatch. Spray your boots with DT in your socks. All right, cool. Thank you. Thank you for that information. Also, remember, guys, STD, step, thing, and day. Whatever you are trying to do, whatever you are trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only one that's going to stop you from reaching your goals is you. That's it. Nobody else. Stay positive, stay away from the negativity, and you're going to be just fine. All right. And that's all you got to do, realistically. It's so simple and so hard at the same time, right? So be safe. I will see you guys on the next one. Have a great night. Prepper Nurse One, out for now.